What is going on, everybody? My name is Tomas, and in this one I'm going to unbox and give you a quick overview of the iPhone 6. The minimalistic packaging is reflective of Apple's approach to mobile operating systems. It is consistent with how iOS functions, and the only identifying factors of the packaging is the color of the logo on the sides of the box and the storage capacity of the handset on the back. This is the gold 64GB variant. The box screams quality in the most nominal means of the word. Apple does an excellent job in making you feel justified in the amount of money you just spent to get this thing in hand. When you open the package, the phone is resting atop the box's content, which is aesthetically pleasing, but be very careful not to drop your handset upon opening it because it has happened and it will happen if you're not careful. The first thing I noticed is how prominent the gold color is. It seems to be a deeper color of gold than the 5S in my opinion, which is totally a good thing. Inside of the box, you're given the obligatory documentation pamphlets and Apple stickers. One really frustrating aspect of the packaging is that Apple has not provided me with a SIM ejection tool for the second year in a row. That really pisses me off. I forgot to mention this is the T-Mobile variant, purchased directly from Apple. Apple, if you see this, give us a SIM ejection tool next year, damn it. Next up is the Lightning to USB cable, the 100 to 240 volt wall wart, and a pair of Apple EarPods. The screen looks absolutely phenomenal. You still have Touch ID encased around a chamfered piece of machined metal that still looks fantastic. Around the back, you'll notice that the Apple logo is a bit different as it has been machined into the casing. The logo is a separate piece of polished aluminum. A very nice touch. You have your protruding 8 megapixel rear-facing camera with what Apple calls focus pixels. That essentially translates into the camera's ability to focus extremely quickly and take rapid photos in succession very effectively. Flanking the camera is a microphone with a dual LED flash. I was skeptical of the antenna bands that are so prominent on the white and gold models, but as soon as I saw this firsthand, it instantly grew on me. It doesn't look half bad in my opinion. One thing I don't like and will never get used to is the protruding camera housing. It seems lazily implemented in my opinion, and it looks like it's just been thrown on the phone's housing. Well, we always have next year's iPhone to look forward to for improvement in this design element, I guess, right? Around the left side of the phone, you get your toggle switch and volume rocker. The toggle switch has a really nice click to it, as do the volume controls. The bottom of the phone houses the 3.5mm headphone jack, microphone, lightning port, and mono speaker. On the right side, you'll find your SIM tray and sleep-wake power on and off switch. There's a clean top on this phone that has no input or output, which is rather nice in my opinion. You'll find the front-facing camera, sensor, and earpiece at the top of the face of the device. And finally, the home button with Touch ID functionality. I will say this up front, being primarily an Android user for the past 4 years, this phone has me thinking of making the jump. The rounding of the glass that fits seamlessly into the design of the body is a really nice implementation and design element. This phone by no means feels like it'll slip out of my hand. When you hold it, it naturally goes into Kung Fu grip, and I really like that. And again, one thing that I'm really not a fan of is the protruding camera housing, but it is livable. We'll take a look at some samples here shortly. But before we do, I want to show you the actual capacity of the device. You're provided between 53 and 54 gigabytes of usable space. I think the 64 gigabyte variant is the sweet spot. So if you're considering this phone, I would recommend getting this capacity. Next would be the camera interface, which remains the same across all devices running iOS 8, with the exception of being able to record slow motion at 240 frames per second on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. In addition to that, both the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus are able to take 43 megapixel panorama pictures. I know it seems kind of soon, as I've only had a day with the phone, but this camera really is by far the best camera I've ever used on a smartphone. Apple has outdone themselves again. You will be impressed when you see how this thing performs in person. Focus Pixels may have a gimmicky name, but is far from it. It is very practical. The glass on this camera is fast. I mean really fast. With that, let's jump into some samples. So this is a test of the front-facing camera. I wanted to be objective. I also wanted to get in an area where it was fairly noisy so we could see how the microphone reacts, in addition to changing light dynamics. You be the judge of how this front-facing camera of the iPhone 6 performs. And here's a test of the rear-facing camera. Again, I wanted to be as objective as possible, and I also wanted to change dynamics as well. And in addition to that, I want to have some fairly loud background noise to see how the internal microphone handles it with the noise cancellation, if there is any. Here's another test of the front-facing camera. You got to be careful to know where you're looking because the phone is rather large, so if you're looking at the screen it'll definitely show that you are looking at the screen. I wanted to be in a more quiet setting and test it properly and hold the phone the way you're supposed to. Again, let me know what you think. So here I am again testing the rear-facing camera. I wanted to see what was up with the audio and see if I put myself in a quieter setting, if it would perform any better. It sounds a little distorted in my opinion. You have to bump up the decibels, but I didn't do any post-production to this video clip to accurately capture what kind of results you're going to get. Feel free to drop a comment down below letting me know what you think of this footage. It handles rather well in focusing in what you want it to. So again, I wanted to be as objective as possible, and if you have a comment or a question, feel free to leave it below. I'm going to go ahead and close this portion with some slow motion video. So kick back and enjoy. To close this out, let's look at some sample images. I wanted to make this as unfair as possible, so I didn't stack the iPhone 6 up with another smartphone. I took it a step further and slapped my Sigma 18 to 35mm lens on my Canon T4i. I need to preface this portion by saying that I'm a terrible photographer, and you photo heads out there will most definitely be able to pick apart the images I took with my DSLR. Anyways, take it for what it is. The iPhone definitely holds its own and performs extremely well, especially in my case, considering I'm not that great a photographer. Apple took the term point and shoot to heart because this phone does exactly that. If you don't want to miss those special things in your life, this phone's camera is so mind-blowingly fast, I almost guarantee you will be able to capture every single moment. You can launch the camera and start taking pictures or video easily under 3 or 4 seconds. It's that fast. Well, that about does it for me in this one, everybody. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down and let me know why in the comment section below. I value your feedback, so feel free to comment and ask questions as well. After you're done liking, disliking, commenting, or sharing, go ahead and check out some of my other videos. In addition to that, check out my channel. If you like what you've seen here and what you've seen on my channel, you are more than welcome to subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Take care.